Yo, what up guys, Ross Scalps here, and in this video I'm reviewing Moana 2. Alright, so this movie picks up with Moana and on her island enjoying time with her family, and while she's there she gets an unexpected call from her ancestors. From there she realizes she has to save them from a being named Nalo, who's imprisoning them in their island. This leads her to go on a journey through some dark and treacherous waters on an adventure she's never had before. And that's basically the movie, guys. It's literally the first one, but worse. Yeah. Alright, so let me just give you some quick details about the movie. Alright, so for the directors, there's a few of them. You have David Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, and Dana Ledoux Miller. So that's the directors. 3 for one movie. That's always a good sign. From there, you have the cast, obviously The Rock, and then you have, some other people like Sonny from My Robot, along with a few other ones. And the budget for this movie was around $150 million. It's projected right now to hit at least $200 million worldwide opening weekend, give or take on that. With that, it's an hour and 40 minutes long, and it's rated PG, obviously. And so far for the reviews, it has a 70 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6 on IMDb, which is considerably lower than the first movie's reviews. But alright, as you guys can tell from my comment earlier, this movie, it wasn't as good. And I'm not even a diehard. I'm just a casual fan. I haven't seen the first one in almost a year. I saw the first one and I was like, that was a solid 7 out of 10-ish movie. It was all right. It was fine. I didn't feel like it did anything crazy. It was a good, decent movie. Kid movie, right? So I wasn't expecting a lot going into this. The trailer came out and people that I know were hyped to go watch this movie. And so I was like, all right, this might be decent. Hopefully it can be better than the first one. But after watching this, there's just one word I can use to describe it. And that would be dull. But before I dive into the reasons why I thought it was dull, let me list some pros, some things that I enjoyed that I think anyone can probably come out of saying, that was a good, I liked it for this, So let me just start with, it's a good family movie. You could take your kids to it, and when in my theater it wasn't that busy. Matter of fact, Wicked, in their second week had more people than this movie did. Besides the point, there was kids in here and families in this movie. They were watching it, and some people clapped at the end and had a good time laughing. So yeah, it's a good family movie. And like I said, people were laughing. This movie has some good comedy, sprinkled here and there from The Rock or the chicken or just other things like that. Like, this movie has some decent comedy in certain places, and that's a pro. Along with that, there's maybe a scene or two of heartwarming moments in here where actually kind of, if you're invested in these characters, it kind of makes you tear up, maybe. But there were some heartwarming scenes or like some kind of emotional scenes. Not crazy, but, there were some. Along with that, the characters, they bring back, I think, most of the returning characters, and then they add some new ones. And I think the new ones do a good enough job to really have their own, place in the movie. Especially this one character. It was like a little Mario villain. Like, that thing, it was cool, and there were some funny moments with him. But I liked his character, even though I didn't understand at first as Coconut, but I liked his character, and he was a good addition to the movie. And then if you like these characters, if you like Moana, if you like Maui, you'll probably enjoy just seeing them again. Even if the movie's not as good, you'll enjoy seeing them. And I think there was enough in here for her and Maui to kind of have an arc and for it to be entertaining if you're just watching them, and obviously you are, but I think it's enough for them in here. I think they are obviously the stars, and I think they did a good job with just their arcs and what they have to go through and how each of them grow by the end of it. I think that people who like them and like the first movie will like their characters in here. But yeah, those were kind of vague pros. I tried to list some stuff that I liked. The problem is there's just not a lot. And with that, I'll get into some of the cons. And for the main one, I'll say the story. The story just feels like it was heartless, like dull. There was no creativity to it. Like, they kind of did what the first one did. They got to travel to an island and then save it. But the execution is so bad. And the reason it's so bad is because of the villain. Throughout the movie, they hype up this villain, and I don't even think you see him. Like, if I don't think physically you really see him, it's maybe a cloud or something. Like, I get that was kind of like the first one. So I guess they just copied the first movie and did it worse. But no, I just think the villain, they should have had a more intimidating presence. The movie felt so anticlimactic. Like, it was kind of traveling like this, and then it just kept traveling like this, and then it kind of just flatlined. Like, honestly, you were kind of seeing where it was going, but then as, you know, you realized, okay, the ending's coming up, like, where's the villain? And then whatever happens. You're sitting there like, that's the movie, huh? Yeah. It was like a downsizing type of effect where there wasn't really a climax. It was just building for nothing. So that was probably the main thing, is the villain, the story. Like I said, Moana and Maui and some of the characters, I enjoyed seeing them, but they should have had something better they were working towards. And even the story setting up was good. It's just the ending. They just didn't know how to present the villain, I feel like. And that's the main thing, you know, the story, the villain, that just makes the movie dull. Like, throughout the movie, it's fine. It's just, I don't know, maybe like the last 3/4 of the movie, you're kind of waiting, anticipating. And don't get me started. There's a character, you might have seen her in the trailer, she's like Batgirl. You see her, and then she's not really involved in the movie again. Which is weird, because they started this like arc, or this path, for her, but then they just stopped. They lost their train of thought and just said, whatever, I forgot about her in the script at the end. But regardless, though, I think this movie was worse than the first movie. And I'm not saying the first movie was, you know, great by any means, but it was an entertaining kid movie. You know, it was fine, 7 out of 10. But this movie just felt a little dull. There were moments in here that you can enjoy and you'll remember. But overall, I think the first one was better. And if I had to rank this movie, I'd probably give it a participation award. I don't think you need to go watch this in theaters. Obviously, there's a huge fan base for this movie. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have made it. So it's probably going to hit all the projections it's tracking to make. But for me personally, I would wait to rent this. I don't think it's better than the first one. But if you like the characters, you might as well go watch it in theaters. Anyways, guys, those are just my thoughts. You know, comment below if you saw this movie and what your thoughts are. If you agree with me, disagree with me. If you think this was better, I want to know why and why you're lying. But no, I'm just kidding. But I do appreciate you guys clicking on this. And if you're still here, thank you for watching this. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.